in mind. Now we should start with the inquiry into the journey of man from his childhood. What are the landmarks as he proceeds further in life? The journey begins from childhood. How he develops, how one proceeds from one landmark to another, and what are the characteristics of different stages in life. As you are aware, when a child is born, he is only a lump of flesh physically. The child is only a lump of flesh. All the different limbs are not differentiated. You can say this is nose and this is the eyes and his ear, but then that is more or less an undifferentiated mass of flesh when the child is born. Not only the child is physically an undifferentiated mass of flesh, we are otherwise, intellectually, emotionally, there is also in a nebulous state that is undifferentiated. You only with the passage of time, slowly, different limbs get differentiated. Eyes, nose. This we very well know. Even different urges in a human being, they also get defined with the passage of time. In the beginning, the child doesn't know what he wants. Craving may be abundant, undifferentiated. With the passage of time, then various desires, various urges, they can be demarcated one from the other. And the basic urges in a human being, they are almost the same as they are in animal world. Which are the urges? There is a Sanskrit shloka. That shloka says, Ahara nidra bhayamaitmanji. Ahara nidra bhayamaitmanji. Samanyameta pashubhir marana. Animals, the animal world and the human species. These four things are common. Ahar, nidra, bhaya, maitman. Ahar, nidra, bhaya, maitman. Samanya maitman, that is their common. Samanya. Samanya maitman, pashubhir narana. Pashubi, the animals, and narana. Samanya maitman, pashubhir narana. There is only one thing that demarcates human beings from animals. Otherwise, the other four matters, they are just the same as animals. Ahara, nidra, bhaya, and buddhi. buddhirhi tesham adhiko vishesha. It is only the intelligence, this new element that is present in human beings, that differentiate them from animals. Buddhirhi tesham adhiko vishesha. Buddhirvihina Ushadisthana. If the human beings, they don't have intelligence, or they don't use it, they are gifted with it, then they are as lesser souls as the animals. Buddhihi tesha adhiko vishesh. This is the vishesh, the special characteristics of humanity. Buddhihi tesha adhiko vishesh. Buddhirvihina, devoid of buddhi. They are just like animals. This explains the basic qualities in human beings which are common to animals. We shall take into consideration this intelligence later. Let us see now these four urges, ahara, nidra, bhaya and mould. In fact, these urges explained in this particular sloka, in the words used, they are symbolic words. Ahara stands for all hungers. Ahara. Ahara means that which satisfies hunger. When you are Shuddha, when you are hunger, and you satisfy your hunger, whatever satisfies your hunger is ahara. The ahara for eyes is different, the ahara for belly is different, ahara for nose is different, ahara for eyes and ears is different. So, ahara stands for anything that satisfies any of your hungers. That is a symbolic thing. It should not be meant just ahara means food or rice. Ahara stands for all that satisfies your hungers. And this type of hunger, even mental hunger, physical hunger, emotional hungers, everything is ahara. Whatever satisfies your hunger, ahara stands for it. Nidra. Nidra also stands for all your comforts, rest. Nidra doesn't mean only just sleeping. All stands for rest, symbolic for rest. Because every animal, every being requires rest, just as it requires food. According to the variation of hungers, it requires food. In the same way it requires rest. That rest may include entertainment, everything that comforts, anything that gives you sweet sensation, anything that gives you rest. So that is the symbolic word for the ahara and the nidra. These are symbolic words. You will find that the child begins with these only two, ahara and nidra. You will find in the life of a child. No other hungers or other urges, I should say, other urges have not come on the scene when a child is born. It sleeps, when it is hungry, it wants to take milk or whatever it will give. So the only concern is only two things, ahara and nidra. And ahara also of only one kind. The child doesn't know individual hungers. There doesn't have any other income. There is no only crude physical income. Just water and food. In the case of a child, milk is it. So that only when is satisfied, it goes to rest, sleeps. So, ahara and nidra are the two urges which appear on the scene in early childhood. It is only with the passage of time that the bhaya comes. What is this bhaya? Bhaya is not just fear. This also is a symbolic word. Bhaya stands for so many things. When do you have fear? Unless you have this urge to preserve your life, there won't be fear. If you have no urge for preservation of your life, you must survive. Then only the question of protection comes. You want to protect yourself against what? You protect yourself because you don't want to die. You don't want to get damaged, but hurt. So this self-preservation and the steps that a person takes for self-preservation. Even you see, you store certain things for yourself, for tomorrow, for the rainy season as it is called. That also comes under this. It is a bhaya that involved in this. You want to preserve yourself. Lest you may not get, after 3-4 days, you will not get it now. Isn't it? So the accumulation, all these things which are ancillary to this major urge in man of self-preservation. Why you are afraid of fire? Oh, it will hurt you. You may lose your life. When the child is very small, he is not afraid of fire also. He is not afraid of heights. He may not be afraid of anything. A serpent may be going, he may not be afraid. Only later, the bhaya comes. Child is as innocent, as fearless, as any concept of fearless object. So, fear also comes later, and this Maituna also comes later. Maituna is a symbolic word for the attraction for the opposite sex. Attraction for the opposite sex, with all its implications. That stands, that is the symbol, which is called Maituna. So, just as there is self-preservation, and therefore the protection comes. In the same way, there is a desire of self-perpetuation. This Maituna also stands for it. When the species is reproduced, man and a woman, out of there the child comes. That is the perpetuation of species. This is how the world goes on. So just as God has given this urge of self-preservation, you must survive. In the same way God has given this fourth urge to everybody, called self-perpetuation. Perpetuation of the species. Because of which the entire world is going on. world doesn't, the population and the animal world and the vegetation world and the human world, they don't come to an end. They are perpetuated. So these are the four areas, out of which in the beginning there are only three of this present in a child. And then they get slowly augmented. Other two are just joined. The message of life. 10 times, 20 times when the child gets burned, gets hurt, it begins to know that this will hurt, this will give an uncomfortable feeling, and then it begins to be afraid of certain things. So that fear comes. The instinct for protection, self-protection, that gives this feeling of fear. So they come later on. And what you call sex and the method and the self-perpetuation and the attraction for the opposite sex, they also come quite later. These are the four areas which are common to animals and human beings. Two others come together. The thing that differentiates the animals from human beings, as I said, is intelligence. Intelligence, I consciousness. Intelligence also has got different grades. Intelligence also has got different grades. Even animals also exhibit intelligence. They also exhibit intelligence, but it is in a very crude state. And therefore it is not called intelligence, it is called instinct. Their intelligence is limited. What is the limitation? God has given them that much intelligence which helps them in self-preservation, in finding food. Because this ahara and nidra and this bhaya, all these ahara, nidra, bhaya, method are the four urges in human beings and also the animals. So the animals are given that much intelligence which is just necessary for them to fulfill these four urges. That much they know, that much knowledge they have. You shouldn't say knowledge they have. Mechanically they are so built up. Their whole life is so built up, or there is such inbuilt arrangement in animals that who is their enemy, who is their who thing they should be afraid of. These things they know. From the very birth they know. A mouse knows that this cat is enemy. The mongoose, if at the sight of mongoose, the serpent knows that this is the dangerous animal. Nobody told. The mongoose is not even taught about it. The self-preservation, that much knowledge, because knowledge comes by intelligence, so one may feel that there is intelligence. It is not intelligence. Instinctive knowledge, some inbuilt arrangement by which for finding food and for doing these things to perpetuate themselves, all these things they know automatically. So, it is not an act of intelligence that is required and them to know what they are instinctive. Sometimes it may appear that, oh, they are very intelligent. But then it doesn't come under the category of intelligence. Or you may say limited intelligence. If at all you want to use the word intelligence, you may say they are endowed with limited intelligence. For example, say I remember once we had gone for a picnic in one of our friends' garden. A number of people were there, and the garden was a rich garden. There were oranges, there were so many other fruits, and there was one orange garden. So he had plucked oranges and gave us to eat. So while we were eating, we just were inquiring regarding the orange garden and all that. So casually he told us that you see nowadays monkeys are a great nuisance to our orange garden. Formerly there was no such nuisance, though monkeys were in plenty. Nowadays these monkeys are creating havoc. So naturally the question arose, somebody asked, why the monkeys were not a nuisance formerly and why they are now become a nuisance? They said, you see, formerly they never entered the orange garden because thinking that it is a good food we should eat, and they peeled off. As soon as they peeled off, the juice in that peel, it went into their ears. And at once they thought that it was uncomfortable. It is something which is dangerous. They threw away. And they never came near this orange garden. But nowadays, these monkeys, they have learned the art. They take the food, take their hands back, peel off, and so these fellows, they have learned the art. Now within intelligence. Well, this much intelligence has been given to them by God, that how to find food, how to preserve themselves. This intelligence they do have, but then it is inferior kind of intelligence. Even the mouse, when it cannot enter the ghee tin, and it cannot put its mouth and eat the ghee inside, they put their tails inside. And when the tail is completely steeped in ghee, then they eat that ghee which is stuck to the tail. And in this way, they see the way to get the ghee. I was in Muradabad some 2 years back. There, the whole house was, even the courtyard, nothing was open. Everywhere there were that framework, so that the monkeys may not enter. The framework was the network was so very thick. But monkeys will not enter if you have bars, but they have not only put this horizontal bar, but also this vertical bar and horizontal bar. So I said, why are you required to make such a bandobast? They said, you see, these monkeys what they do, their kids who are very small, if the hole is only this much, the open is only this much, that is enough for them. From that the kid will come inside. It will collect all the chapatis, everything, and it will give to the mother monkey. And in this way in combination, they get all the things stolen. So therefore we have to be very careful. So, the intelligence that is shown by the animals, that is sometimes very interesting, but at the same time it is not of the variety of the intelligence that human beings possess. Especially that I consciousness is not there. It's self-consciousness. The self-consciousness, it is not there in animals or all beings other than human beings. I consciousness is very important. You see things, but this realization of I-ness, that is a great development, great landmark in the development of consciousness. I consciousness is very important. You will find it is the I consciousness which is responsible for all civilization. The I consciousness, self-consciousness. Not only seeing things, seeing oneself, and to be conscious of one's own processes going on in one's own mind. That development, that is a very important breakthrough in the development or in the evolution of the world. A very important breakthrough. That we shall see later. But my point is that intelligence is only in human beings, and that intelligence is used by human beings not only for the fulfillment of the four urges, but even for higher causes. If it is used only for the fulfillment of these four urges, ahara, nidra, prayer and etc., then that is life on a very lower level. Then man becomes only a rational animal. It remains animal. He only becomes a rational animal. That means he uses intelligence for food, for ahara, for nidra, for prayer, for intelligence is used only for this purpose. And in that way, he becomes a far ferocious animal than the animals themselves. Tiger, it has this urge for ahara. A tiger will kill and will not think for tomorrow. You will eat, you will kill the animal, kill its victim, eat, and then sleep. You won't worry for tomorrow. And it won't have the food means just whatever the lamb or the goat or this or that. This is only one food. Now man, now he gives intelligence. Because the taste is, we have got shadrasas, as we say. We have got shadrasas, tikta, amla, and so many things, katu and madhu, so many shadrasas are there. So he will make permutations, combinations of all these shadrasas. And with intelligence he may have 1,000 dishes which an animal can do. Animal will be satisfied with whatever it gets. Now, human being has used his intelligence only for ahara. Only for, say, fire. Now he wants to protect himself. Animals also want to protect themselves. They also have that self-preservation. But man, what will do? He will he will protect himself. Not only he will make arrangements to protect, but he will also make arrangements to attack. So that the fellow may never, for 7 generations he may not attack. So he may kill him first. So the human being will use intelligence for this urge which is symbolized in the word bhaya. In the same way, ahara, nidra, bhaya, medhanati, nidra means rest. How many 100 varieties man finds devices for his enjoyment, for his comfort, for his luxury, for his rest. He is not satisfied with the simple rest that the animals take. Animals take rest and again they are up and doing for work. They only know sleeping as the only rest. The only thing that comforts their mind is only sleep. But we find man has made an institution, rest, entertainment, luxuries, comfort, so many things, and the entire civilization is built on this. So also this self-preservation instinct. It is not only self-preservation instinct. When we think of sex in human life, what variety of ways and what devilish things he thinks of, and what elaborate things the man has, by using his intelligence, what he has made of man. So therefore, many times the best phrase to use for man is rational animal first. And rational is the identity. That means he is a more ferocious animal. Animal, it doesn't use intelligence. God has given his instinct. In that instinctive framework, the animal lives. Man has now his intelligence. He uses intelligence and he may live more ferociously, more devilishly, more courageously, more greedily because of his intelligence. Intelligence will be used only for this purpose. Then man tends to become more ferocious than even a tiger, more poisonous than even a serpent, more wicked than even a wolf. So, in the development of a child, you will find that slowly these 4 urges develop. And these urges are also in animals, so there is nothing particular about a human child. But the I consciousness develops. And just as the intelligence develops, and intelligence may create havoc in the life of a human child. This I consciousness, when it is developed, then it begins to have its play. I consciousness. I and you. The self-interest as against the interest of others. Now it is not only self-preservation. It is not only self-preservation, simple and pure and proved in the life of animals. Self-preservation takes the form of self-interest. What is detrimental to my self-interest, I should not do. And what is congenial to my self-interest, I must do. What I should do, what I should not do. He begins to develop worldly wisdom. Worldly wisdom is called Really, wisdom is called worldly wisdom. And worldly wisdom is nothing else except the capacity to find what is detrimental to your interest and shun it, and to know what is congenial to your self-interest and strive for it. This, if you know, you are worldly wise man. And this doesn't come all of a sudden. It takes, just as the limbs also take certain years for full development, whether in male or female, all limbs, they take certain time, and we call it adulthood. Then full strength, full bodily strength, full muscle body. This comes only when you are adult. So adulthood is associated with the full development of your limbs. Not only limbs, but this I consciousness also. When you know self-interest, then you are adult. And you don't know self-interest. And you do something which is detrimental to your own self-interest. Cruel self-interest. Then people say he is not adult. Therefore, you call in legal language minor nature. He is minor. He doesn't know self-interest, he can't sign contract. His signature has no value. He may be innocent. What is innocent? Innocent is not an abuse, but in the actually it is something undeniable. You may sometimes say, oh, how innocent the person is, but you don't give him a compliment. You mean to say that he is foolish, he is an idiot, he is innocent. He doesn't know the worldly ways. And therefore, if a minor signs a contract, the law doesn't accept it. Say, what an innocent child, if he has signed a contract, how it is valid? He doesn't know his self-interest. Neither is not supposed to know his self-interest. So in the legal parlance also, that is not taken to be serious. They are not taken seriously. Even suppose a crime is committed by a boy of 10 years or 12 years, he is not given punishment. Oh, the boy is a child, so what he knows, he doesn't know good, he doesn't know bad. So therefore, it is not taken seriously. He may have committed something, but he is not responsible for it, because he doesn't know. Ignorant. His intelligence is not so developed. Just as his physical limbs are not sufficiently developed, in the same way, his apparatus to know what is his self-interest and what is against his self-interest, that also he does not know. Therefore, minor is never punished. Even if he is punished, he may be punished very lightly. So adulthood means you must know self-interest. And you must become worldly wise. You know there is this understanding that man develops a wisdom tooth, akal daat. At the age of 18, 19, 20, he gets that wisdom tooth. That tooth comes. That tooth doesn't contain wisdom, but that tooth comes only when you are adult. So therefore it is called, now he has developed wisdom tooth, but he has become adult. He knows now what is to his advantage and what is not to his advantage. So, the wisdom and the intelligence and the whole thing, it is considered developed. There is no self-interest. Self-interest is the whatever. Self-interest. I'll give you 2 examples from my own life. Interesting. I was, in my childhood I was in a village with my parents. From the village I moved to the city of Nagpur. When I had almost finished my primary school. And you know that in those times primary school means only in one language, whatever is your mother tongue. Then you begin to learn English and other things. So I was in the village up to my 3rd standard, and then slowly I moved to city. And then I completed my primary school and went to the English school. That is first English. And then for 10th and 11th, those times was up to 11th. Then you pass SSLC and then you go to college. So I was in 2nd standard, according to the present term, 2nd standard. By that time I had not become a town boy. I remained as a village boy even though I was there for 2 years. Not moving about here and there much, not going beyond the borders of the locality, not extending activities beyond a particular limit, shy, and I remained a village boy for long 2 years. The school where I used to go for study, that school had a different branch. So, while I was in 2nd standard, I was removed to a different place and new atmosphere. It was more or less in a very crowded town population. The incident that I am describing happened just within 3-4 days of the starting of the school. School started when the news session begins, you know how boys are bubbling with enthusiasm. So very nice atmosphere. It was just the 3rd day or the 4th day. Even all teachers had not come. They had not joined duties. So it so happened, the teacher had not come, our arithmetic teacher. And therefore boys were standing outside the classroom. So I was also standing like other boys. The boy got this trace that headmaster has come. I, being just a village boy, I was not so alert. As soon as they saw that the headmaster was coming, all boys ran to the classroom. And I was just looking here and there, and I was caught unawares. The headmaster came and approached me. Where is that? So, naturally I said, our teacher has not come, sir. What is that period? Who is going to take a period? So, with all innocence I said, I took the name of my teacher. Such so and so teacher used to take arithmetic class. So, as soon as I uttered the name of the teacher, he was shocked. He said, what? Who is your teacher? I again took the name of the teacher. And I couldn't know what happened. He asked me to, to leave came from the office. What happened? At that time I did not know that was not the name of the teacher, that was the name given by the steward. That was the name given by the steward. You see, that particular teacher used to come, his whole head was shaved. And Marathi, because that was the Marathi part, it is called chappi. This is the shaved completely clean, it is called chappi. So, they have given this name to the teacher, that is Chappi Maki. So I said, Chappi Maki used to come, he has not come. He takes our class. So, he brought the cake. I was standing, wasn't it? Whether he has brought the cane for me or whether something has appeared in his mind, I was just gaping. And he began to meet me. Out of your hand, on both hands, 15, 20 canes. The hands were swollen. Then I could not receive any more. Then he pat me on my back. And then he asked me again, now tell me, whose class? And he pat me again, the second round, till the cane broke. And all Indian nuisance are wondering what has happened. Why this master has gone on such a furious rage. Then he, without hurting very straight way, went to the office. Perhaps to find out who is this boy and from which family he comes and what is wrong with this boy. He went inside. I came to the classroom thinking that, well, I am a Marathi, I have done nothing and there is something seriously wrong with the headmaster. And the boys flocked around me and said, you idiot, what did you tell? Your master, is it the name, is it the name of the teacher, this is the name told by us. You don't know this much. Then I realized, that means I had not become an adult. I don't know my self-interest, I don't know the worldly ways. And though the name might be Bho, and I am not supposed to know the real name and the fake name and the name given by this group and that group. But if I don't know, it is my mistake. I don't know the worldly ways. So I deserve all the punishment. I deserve all the treatment that I got. The only satisfaction is that I am innocent, I do not know, I am not adult. So, self-interest, one has not yet developed that much intelligence, that much worldly wise a person has not become when he doesn't know self-interest. I will give you another example to show that what happens when the worldly wisdom you achieve. What happens? In my own case, I give you another example. I was studying in 4th year, college. I had gone to the station, railway station, Nagpur railway station, to receive one friend. He was to come from Madras and going to Delhi. So I went to the station to receive him, to meet him, talk to him. So I attended Grand Trunk Express, I talked to him, I brought some food for him. So nicely we talked. In the meantime, some boys came, boys of Nagpur, whom I knew. They said, Eknathji, one of our friends is going to Delhi and he is not getting accommodation. So you help us. We have searched the whole train but no accommodation is available and now the time is only 10 minutes. So you help us. These military people, they are not allowing inside. Those were the days of World War II. And all raised a fact. And the military people, if they occupy, they won't allow anybody else to go. Even in the civil compartments. There is a special compartment, and even civil compartment they enter, they won't allow anybody. So I said, all right. At that time, people, I was taking good exercise. People thought that I had confidence in my physical strength. People also thought likewise. Therefore, they came to me that I may help. I said, all right, okay. I went from coast to coast. Then I found that nobody is going to give accommodation, so we shall have to force our way in. So then I said, you get in. First I got in, little forcibly. And I asked that boy, you bring your luggage, you bring your hold on, bring your luggage, keep it here, sit here. You will sit here. The 3-4 Jawans who were there, they were saying that don't enter. This is military reserve compartment. And in mind, I took the boy up. All the boys have come there to give a send-off to their friend. And from there they were to go to some playground for playing hockey and cricket. So they had with them somebody having stumps, somebody having hockey sticks, and they were standing on the platform. When I took the boy inside, and I was just arranging his holder was there, some suitcase was there, I was just putting inside the cage. From above, one Jawan who was on the upper berth, he hit me with a stick that generally Jawans have, that stick, he hit me on the head, very, very severely hit. As soon as he hit me, then the boys who were standing on the platform, they were having that stump with them, cricket stump. So immediately I asked him to give me. I took the stump and beat him. His head also was broken. But then because of the hit on my head, I found that I am all blood. Blood was profusely running. That I did not notice in the beginning. I beat him sufficiently, and then he also running back. In the meantime, because of the flowing of the blood, I felt the giddiness, and therefore I got down, and immediately I tried to stop the flowing of the blood. I was taken inside. I was, say, for 5 minutes I was unconscious. In the meantime, police came, and I was not still conscious, but the police came. Then afterwards they asked me what was the matter. So anyway, there is a riot, and he was also wounded. So he was also asked to come down. He took his luggage and he had to. Grantham cannot be detained. Grantham went his way. He was asked to come down, and we both of were arrested. But in the meantime, a lot of people came from city. Advocates came and they took bail, and I was released immediately. But that gentleman had to go to jail, in custody, police custody. Next day there was case. There was a special court. One Mr. Yadu, the name of the magistrate. The magistrates for number of advocate friends on my side, they were there. That fellow also was there. When the case started, and he started asking me cross-examining. He said, this magistrate said, you very severely beat that man. I said, I didn't beat him. He said, you must have abused him. I said, how could I abuse him? I went along with the boy inside. I was trying to set his thing right. And from above he bit me on my head. As soon as I got the hit, I swooned. I became unconscious. I don't know what happened after. If he had been bit here, he might have been bit by somebody else, I don't know. But immediately I got the beating. I swooned. I did not know what happened afterwards. He said, you did not even abuse. I said, I would have certainly abused. I would have even bit him. Because quite likely that being provoked by his beating, I would have bit him, I would have abused him. But then I had no time, because I was unconscious. And later on what happened? I have become worldly wise. Then he said, by the way, what do you do? I said, I have passed my BA examination. And I am doing, at that time I had passed BA honors. That was the thing, it was not only fourth year, I had passed my BA honors. And I was not doing anything other than that. But I had passed my honors examination, that was MA examination. So he said, what are you doing? And I said, I have passed my MA examination and now I am doing some research. He said, what research? In what did you pass it? I said, I passed MA in philosophy. He said, you are passing philosophy? Oh, you are indulging in this metaphysics, this God and moksha and salvation and this, all these things. Why did you not tell me beforehand that you are a philosopher? You told me that you are a philosopher, I would have presumed that you cannot fight. You can never fight. How can philosophers fight? I would not have troubled with all these questions had I known before that you are a philosopher. So, I was doing this. And then he also was fined a little and then he was asked to go to his destination. I mean, these are the two incidents in our own life. I have now attained worldly wisdom. I know what are my self-interest, what I should say, how much untruth I should say, how much truth I should say. Even if I have to say the truth, in what language I should say. So, this is worldly wisdom. This is adulthood. This is adulthood. When a person begins to know his self-interest, then we say that this may have host somebody. Now he has attained that wisdom which will protect himself and he will never do anything detrimental to his own interest. So this is the march from childhood to adulthood. From childhood to adulthood. This is called worldly wisdom. From childhood, where you start only with ahara and nidra, and your intelligence is not on the scene. You develop intelligence. First it is only rational, your reason only gives you more capacity than the animals to fulfill all the four arjas, ahara, nidra, bhaya and etc. Then the intelligence brings in you that self-interest, that self-consciousness, self-interest, and you become what people call adults. This is the march from childhood to adulthood, where in the beginning there is not even the self-consciousness. When you reach adulthood, you have not only self-consciousness but also self-interest. And everything revolves around self-interest. If you are at the counter in your shop, if you know that you You can commit a mistake by giving less to the customer. But if you commit a mistake that you receive less, that is not the sign of adulthood. Adulthood means you may err on the safer side, not on this side. You may see that you are an advantage. You are not by mistake given advantage to others. This self-interest, as soon as it is ensured and you know the ways, people say that now you are adult, you can be interested with family contact, you can be interested with anything. Now you are free to go. You will never be duped by anybody. On the contrary, you may dupe anybody, but you will not be duped by anybody. This everybody tries to ensure, and that is called adulthood. That is called adulthood. In the common parlance, I will later on explain that what real adulthood means. But this is the limit of intelligence. The intelligence is used only this much. Intelligence is used first only for fulfilling these four hungers. Then intelligence is used for the self-interest. This is the mark of adulthood. We shall examine further how intelligence, how this capacity to think and capacity to be self-conscious, how it develops, and ultimately how man evolves, and what other things appear on the scene later that we shall see. We have started the first series of discourses. This morning I was discussing the various stages a person goes through, beginning from his childhood, the various landmarks in human life. We examine how, in the beginning, just as a child is only a lump of flesh, undifferentiated lump of flesh, different organs, they are not properly differentiated. Only with the passage of time, various limbs get differentiated. In the same way, the mental faculties also, various emotions, various hungers, they are also in a nebulous state, undifferentiated whole. The child does not know what it wants. What it wants also is not properly differentiated. It is the mother who has to find out what the child wants, whether it wants milk or whether it wants to sleep. She has to imagine. The child weeps, doesn't know why it weeps, it is uncomfortable. What exactly happens, it doesn't know. The mother has to know what must be happening. So, the feeling, the whatever little mental activity may be there in childhood, everything is undifferentiated. And we have seen how slowly, with passage of time, different faculties, different emotions, different hungers, whether they are physical hungers or other hungers, they get more and more differentiated. And the development of the child gradually goes ahead, and later on the persons become a personality. I also showed you that in the beginning, up to adulthood, the march the child towards adulthood is nothing but finding the self. It is a self-interest that the child slowly develops. When the child becomes adult, we say child has become now adult. No more it is a minor. The child has become major. That means the person has grown into adulthood. That means the person has now developed self-interest. He has now consciousness of the self, I, against you, and he, and they. This ego, as one may call it, self-consciousness, the I-ness, it slowly develops. And how my interest differs from others. What is mine and what is others? That mindness, that I-ness, that begins to develop. And it is only when that I-ness develops completely, fully, you call a person adult. Means what is detrimental to my interest, I will not do. What is convenient to my interest, I will do. The do's and don'ts. What is to be done, what is not to be done, what is to be avoided. On the basis of Ahara, Nidra, Bhaya and Method, these four urges which are common to human beings and also to animals. These are the four urges. I have explained to you what the urges mean, what Ahara means, what Nidra means, what Bhaya means, what method means, how are they symbolic. How Ahara is a symbolic word for all hungers, whether they are physical hungers, intellectual hungers, emotional hungers. One wants affection, there is emotional hunger. One may get food, but that is not enough. The hungers take different forms, and there are many varieties. Physical hunger, intellectual hunger, emotional hungers, with love, affection, approbation, somebody appreciating. That is also a hunger. If you do something and if somebody will appreciate, you are not satisfied. Some approbatory words, they satisfy you. They give you some solace. They give you some soothing effect. So, these may be termed as emotional hungers. So, ahara doesn't mean only just the food, the rice and eat. Ahara stands for all hungers. All hungers. So, Nidra also stands for this rest which is needed not only for the body, also for the mind. So, this Nidra, the symbolic word, all compares, all that puts you to rest, puts your mind to rest, puts your body to rest, which puts your hungers to rest. Whatever gives you rest and allows you and facilitates your refreshing yourself, refueling yourself, that is Nidra, not will be sleep. Ahara and Nidra are symbolic words. Bhaya also is symbolic. Why man fears? He fears because there is an instinct called self-preservation. He wants to survive, he wants to preserve himself. Whatever threatens his life, whatever threatens his preservation, He is afraid. He wants to protect himself, he wants shelter. So all that involves protection, shelter. That is one word, symbolic word meant for it, that is bhaya. He is an urge. This is an urge. Just like ahar is an urge. Nidra is an urge. You want rest. You want ahar. In the same way, you want to protect yourself. So, this bhaya also is symbolic. And there will be no desire in man to preserve himself, self-preservation. There will not have been this bhaya, this fear. This fear is the direct product of the innate urge in man, the basic urge in man to preserve himself, to survive. So, this is also symbolic. And the Maithun also is symbolic. Maithun doesn't mean simply the attraction of the opposite sex or only the sexual play. It is not only that is meant. This Maithun is meant that this attraction for the sex, the self-perpetuation, perpetuation of the species, and all that it implies. How can there be perpetuation of species? Sex is an integral part of this perpetuation. So therefore this Maithun is only a symbolic word for all that self-perpetuation implies. These are four symbolic things. These are four words which symbolize these four urges, basic urges, which are common to human beings and animals. So, when this man develops self-interest, this self-interest is around these four basic urges. These four urges, basic urges, they develop. The urges have full play, and in the terms of all these four urges, this man, one who approaches adulthood, he understands what we call self-interest. Not only self-interest in ahar, nidra, or bhaya, all the four. From every point of view, he learns what is to my detriment and what is to my advantage. When he understands and he is ripe enough, he is wise enough to understand self-interest, then he is called worldly wise. And it's called that he has now attained wisdom truth. Now he is not minor, he is major. Now he can be left in the world. Now he can protect himself, he can give a good account of himself. Nobody can dupe him. He can be now self-confident. And he can now go into contract, he can go into an agreement, he can go into legal transactions, he can run a shop, he can run a business, he can get into married life, he can do all things. Now, because he knows self-interest, that self-interest will protect him. That will make him go and do his thing properly. So this self-interest is a self-interest of the body that he brings with himself, with birth, mind that also he brings with himself, and the ego that he develops, I-ness, me, mine, your, there. That is so he develops. When a child develops it, when One child, if the mother takes some other child, and doesn't take this child, immediately child feels that the sense of rivalry. Oh, the other child is being loved more and I am neglected. So immediately we see the reaction in the child. Why? It has begun now to understand the I-ness. I and me, he and she, they. So the I-ness, along with that I-ness, some pride, some distinctiveness, and all that jealousy, rivalry that is woven around this I-ness. If you find rivalry, jealousy, pride, and all these say emotions or sentiments or whatever name you may give, all these are woven, or all these are the ancillaries of this I-ness. This sort of sense of prestige that develops even in small boys, what you call simple and ego. And the boys, when sometimes it will be difficult to handle them, they won't accept. They feel as if it is below the dignity to do it. The prestige issue, they make issue of prestige. Even in early age, these things happen. That is how the ego starts developing. I remember one example in my own life, how the ego develops in early age. Once I had a quarrel with my elder sister, just 1 year elder. Only I considered her to be technically elder. I never accepted her to be elder. In all quarrels, when she used to remind me that I am your elder sister, I said, what, you are elder? Just 1 year, does it mean elder? You are only technically elder. So I never recognized her elderliness. So once I abused her for having done some injustice to me. Abuse means what abuse, of course, in a cultured family, what abuse one can do. I might have said something which I should not have said to an elderly person. When emotionally I didn't consider it elderly, so I used certain word which was unlike a person using for elders. So immediately she ran to the mother and said that, you see, this fellow has used this word and you called me like this. So my mother called me. Said, did you say this to her? I said, yes, I have said this to her. Then why did you say it? So I said that she did this, she did that. I also enumerated all her faults. Then my mother argued that, well, she might have done it, she should have reported to me, but you are not supposed to do this work for her. She is after all an elder sister. So I said, elder or no, but this, the injustice she did, I think she deserves this. So I don't think I have committed any wrong. Then my mother said, all right, but you accept that you should not have said this word to her? I said, I should not have said that in the light of her behavior, I still feel that what I have done is quite all right. I didn't succumb. I didn't yield. Then my mother said, well, at least you have to apologize to her. I said, that is far more difficult. I can't apologize. Then when she found that I am also adamant and I am not going to apologize, so she said, all right, if you don't apologize, there is another way. Your tongue is now has become soil because you have used that word. You should not have used the elder sister. So the only way to purify your tongue is this, that you must, because in our system, in our cultural life, if purification is needed, we use this cow dung. So now, either you apologize or you purify your tongue by eating cow dung. So you choose. If you are not going to apologize, because if you apologize, then that itself becomes purification. That is the purification process. So I can't allow you to remain like this. Your tongue must be purified. So you either apologize or you take cow dung. And that cow dung cannot be done like this. You go out and take cow dung and say, I have taken cow dung. No. In a ceremonious you must take it. All the people in the house will sit together and I will again ask you that you apologize. And if you don't apologize, then you have to ceremoniously take the cow dung and say that I take cow dung. I said, yes, you can have it. If you want a ceremony, you can have it. I will do it. Tell me how much I have to eat. And I remember the ego, how the ego works. You see, after all, elder sister, your own elder sister, your loving sister, what is there to apply? 10 times you can apply it. But no, can't apply. Prepare to take cow dung before an assembly, but I will not apologize. When you are just 5 years old, 6 years old, and if this is the ego you develop, that means the ego develops at an early stage. And if not properly checked, the ego may take any proportions. Very few families are there who take so much, who attend to the children's behavior, and I doubt whether any mother takes exception to the words used by children and makes an issue out of it, like the one my mother made it. But the point is that this ego develops in early childhood, even when one is 2 years old or 3 years old. So the I-ness, some sort of pride, some sort of ahankar, the aham, me, my, I, and around it jealousy, rivalry, ambition. All these things, they are only ancillary to this. They are only the projections of this I-ness. This also develops along with self-interest. And the person marches ahead. Body, mind, ego complex. Man is nothing but body, mind, ego combined. Body, mind, ego complex. This grows as an entity, as against others, as different from others. This individual grows, this person grows, individuality grows, personality grows. you begin to develop self-interest. And this self-interest, individual self-interest, this is one stage, this is one breakthrough. This is one breakthrough. That in the beginning there is all undifferentiated, and with the passage of time you develop the self-interest. You know, don't worry about it. From here you go ahead and you find that the person develops something more, not only this self-interest, something more, and that is enlightened self-interest. Enlightened self. It is not crude self-interest. Very soon he realizes that his interest, what he calls his individual self-interest, is very intimately connected with the interest of others. If a man takes a married life, he immediately understands that, well, he can't think of his own self-interest. He has to take into account the interest of his wife, the interest of his children. Even otherwise, he cannot think of his only individual self-interest. He has to think about the interest of his sister, brother, father, mother, relative, his friends, the acquaintances, the people with whom he comes in contact. He finds that he cannot live a happy life without the society. Even if I have ego and I develop this sense of I-ness, I want to parade. Before whom I shall parade? Because I have ornaments, I have good clothes. If nobody is there to see my clothes, and nobody is there to appreciate how beautiful garments I have made and how beautiful ornaments I have worn, if there is nobody, you will be disappointed. So, even for petty things, you find that the society, people are around, they are needed. For your own development they are needed. For education they are needed. You want to be loved. You don't want to be lonely. You want to be petted. In number of ways you find that your development, it cannot be just an island. The development intimately is connected with the development of others. At every step you require others. At every step. Your education is not complete. You cannot be educated. You cannot develop, cannot grow, cannot get experience, cannot get help. You will be emotionally a hungry man if you don't have people. Number of ways, one very early realizes that his interest cannot be simply individual interest. His interest is the interest of all others. And then he also realizes that he has to make compromise. If he wants a certain thing should be done, if he wants certain thing to be in a particular way, then he has to give liberty to others also to have the same desire. For example, if I want that my thing should not be stolen by anybody, then the other man also has his right and his desire that his thing should not be stolen. I should not steal. If nobody is to steal yours, you also must not steal of everybody else. So, he begins to feel that the self-interest is unreal. The self-interest, pure, individual, personal self-interest is not at all possible. If you want your self-interest to be preserved, everybody's self-interest is to be preserved. And then, if everybody's self-interest is to be preserved, then there must be a compromise. There must be some give and take. There must be some law. There must be some rule. There must be some rule of conduct applicable to all. There must be some norms common to all. And then he very soon realizes that there should be some order, and one should follow that order for the happiness of all, in which my happiness also is included. Do unto others as you will be done by. Do unto others as you will be done by. This great truth dawns on him. And then his self-interest doesn't remain so crude a form. It changes into enlightened self-interest. Then it is in this context that when people say honesty is the best policy. Well, if I have to live a particular way, then the entire society should live in a particular way, so that all people be honest. If I don't want anybody to be dishonest to myself, and I should not be cheated, then I also should not cheat. So, for the good of all, honesty is the best policy. Even for the individual good, honesty is good. Even for me and you, honesty is good. So in this way, certain rules of conduct, certain norms, accepted norms for the good of all, that emerges, and you come to a different stage, different landmark. In the beginning, when you go to a self-interest. But from self-interest, you very quickly you come to this enlightened self-interest. That is used only for the fulfillment of these four urges, ahara, nidra, bhaya and nidra. Then man remains only a rational act. He doesn't remain man. He is only an animal. Bhide. The tiger is an animal. This man is a rational act. That means tiger having no intelligence, he can't use intelligence for ahar, for nidra, for bhaya. Man has intelligence beautiful. He uses intelligence, all the power of logic, all power of imagination, self-confidence, everything, all faculties, all talents, to efficiently fulfill and number of ways fulfill these four urges. And therefore, man, as I said in the morning, man can be more precious than time. Man can be more poisonous than the snake, the cobra. If only intelligence is used only for this. For example, a woman think of tomorrow. It may kill somebody, some animal, eat and sleep without worry of tomorrow. Man, because is there, he will only think of the good of today, he will think of the good of tomorrow and fear, and for the, not only for himself but for his children, not only for his children, for his grandchildren. This is because the intelligence knows what is aha. That is the main thing. Nidra, fire, maitri. Only this framework of four intelligence used only for this. The others not have differences. God has not given them any scope for this. Whatever it has they eat. We make permutation, combination, 100 liters, 1000 liters, little sour, little salty, little this, little this, and this, subtract this. So many varieties, so many dishes. The basic colors. In the rainbow you find basic colors. Seven. Out of the 7 colors, we make how many shades? Thousands of shades. In the same way, the basic desires will be four. This is the this hunger is manifold form in case of human being. Hunger becomes an institution. If the animal wants just to fill, you not just to fill the bill. Your planet is also develops your tongue also develops certain things. And your satisfaction of hunger, the intelligence comes to rescue and comes to rescue. And your intelligence, you develop science, everything, all art, all science, all made service of the four hungers. As long as intelligence only does work, is the fulfillment of these four urges. Man lives at the stage of rational mind. He has not gone beyond any stage. Only a privileged man. God has not given intelligence to animals, and therefore they may lower level. They are not made the hunger to be elaborate. Man has been given intelligence. So he elaborates all those urges. And animal life he leads is only a rational life. This is the level of a man. He uses intelligence only for this limited purpose of fulfilling these basic four urges. Then the next is, in fact, this stage, as I told you, self-interest and latent self-interest. In our tradition, we say four Purusharthas. We have heard this. We have got the entire life with the framework of four Purusharthas. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. We are focused. Leave aside Moksha for the time. Dharma, Artha, and Kama. Now you will find Artha and Kama. They are for animals, they are for humans. Artha and Kama. Desire is a animal who is Kama. Kama also is a symbolic. It symbolizes all that. All desire, all hungers, all desire. Not only safe desire that is considered to be wrong. How only desire, but moves a man to action, that prompts a man to action. You may call it hunger, you may call it desire. All desire, all hungers, they are symbolized by the word God. So, symbolizes all the things that you require for the fulfillment of desire. Also, in our treatment, money is called derivation. We will derive Because with the help of money you fulfill your needs. But really Artha means all the need fulfillment, Kama and Artha go together. If there is now, there must be Artha. Because coming to some desire, and to fulfill it, you must have some equipment, some apparatus, some agency may be there. Unless it is there, you are not able to fulfill your cause, fulfill your desire. If you want to fulfill something, if you want to get something, then you have to make arrangements. So that so many things there over. So, Artha and Kama go together. And this is common both to human beings. As I told you, the ahara and wherever I can this both for these other can't require. Ahara and they are the four basic hunger, urges. It is all within the framework of earth and self-interest. Self-interest is the sense of hunger, have shelter, have protection, have reservation, and have comfortable living, luxurious living. This I could have all things that may give the distraction, sexual distraction that go on itself. These four urges, earth and Kama will cover it. Earth and Kama. When I talk to you about enlightened self-interest, here comes the role of dharma. Role of dharma. Dharma has no meaning if it is only an individual. Dharma comes into play when you think of the society, think of the people, not the one individual. And there is only one individual. And there is an individual life, there will not have a dharma. Dharma comes into play as a role only when you think of society. My desire, others' desire. My self-preservation, self-preservation. My ahar, others' ahar. It is not simply mine. It is not the law of jungle. That I will see myself, not even go and for myself. But in the case of human being, we live in that then man in society think of dharma. Therefore, self and self-interest transforming into enlightened self-interest. When you say that you do this thing, it is not dharmic. You are not following the dharma. The injunction of dharma is this: you have to behave like this in a given situation. What I should do? My duty is this, others' duty also is that. How to reconcile? Dharma comes with that. In this, you have to do this. For example, in the case of Arjuna and Krishna, not only physically, he thought that what I am doing doesn't seem to be correct. I am going to kill my relatives or my uncles, my grand-uncles, and what is the use? I am not going to do this. It's not good. What is good? What is bad? What is right? What is wrong? In the social setup, what you are called upon to do? What is your duty? This is enlightened self-interest. This is enlightened self-interest. So, Artha, Kama and Dharma, these three things come into play only when the intelligence doesn't stop with self-interest. When intelligence When this power of intelligence, when this mind, when this mental powers, they also think of others, the whole society, the entire cosmos. They don't stop short with self-interest, individual. You go ahead from interest, self-interest to enlightened self-interest. Collective interest, not only self-interest, social interest, social good, good of the world, collective good, universal good. When you think of the higher concept, then intelligence has started functioning properly. As long as intelligence or this reasoning power given by God, this power of logic given by God, gifted to us, is useless or it is applied only to these four urges. How to get those things? How to get muta, how to get bhaya, how to get magic? Only the four urges. It is only state of the rational animal. Human being emerges, a person emerges as a human being, proper, not simply rational animal. But a human being, only then the concept of dharma that emerges, and it begins to think of the whole cosmos, whole, not only individual, but the good of the world, universal good, collective good, my good, others good, all welfare of all. So these are the stages how the person travels from self-interest to self-enlightenment, and enlightened self-interest. And after enlightened self-interest, he still goes ahead. That is the final bit. What is that landmark that we can see?